It is 2024 and we are back, and the royal news has kicked into full gear with a big bang. So, for those of you who don't know, the courts have released documents or partial documents of known associates with Jeffrey Epstein. So, in this one section about Prince Andrew, it reads, perhaps even more important in her role in the Epstein sexual abuse ring, Maxwell had direct connections to other powerful individuals with whom she could connect Epstein. For instance, one such powerful individual Epstein forced Jane Doe 3 to have sexual relations with was a member of the British royal family, Prince Andrew. Jane 3 was a minor. It then goes on to say that she had sexual, I don't know why it says sexual relations because this is a minor, so she was raped. It says that Prince Andrew had raped this minor in 3 geographical locations: in London, in Giselle Maxwell apartment in New York, and Epstein's private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And they was also in an orgy with numerous other underage girls. Good grief. Epstein instructed Jane Doe 3 that she was to give the prince whatever he demanded and required Jane Doe 3 to report back to him on the details of the sexual abuse. Maxwell facilitated Prince Andrew's acts of sexual abuse by acting as a madam for Epstein, therefore assisting in internationally trafficking Jane Doe 3 and numerous other young girls for sexual purposes. Wow. So the first thing that stood out to me in this article is not only that the fact this is another person other than Virginia Giuffre that came out against Prince Andrew, it was the fact that these young girls were told to report back to Jeffrey Epstein about the details of what they would do with these men. And it could be two things. Either Jeffrey Epstein was getting off on the details of what these minors would do with these older men, or somewhere, somehow, he was keeping either a journal slash or diary for you if you're in the UK of this information. And I wonder if that's the case, where's this journal and this diary? But getting to the Prince Andrew stuff, this is what I don't understand about the UK. And just bear with me here. I want you guys to go look at clips, the recent clips of the UK press speaking about this story with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. And then I want you to compare it with the stories of recent or previously that they have when they speak about Meghan and Harry. And I promise you, it might just be me, but I swear to God that I feel like there's this kind of like reluctancy to speak about this in the UK press. Like they'll say like words disgusting, gross, whatever, but it is a reluctancy to speak about it compared to this very hatred when they speak about Meghan and Harry. It's totally different. And I see it. I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it. And also, it was also strange to see that they had Fergie at the Sandringham walk or after church, whatever the thing, the tradition that they do after Christmas. And it was strange to see they had Fergie there, even though she has not done this in over 30 years. And all of a sudden, it was just like, oh, it's good to see Fergie back. I wonder if Prince Andrew and Fergie is going to get remarried. And sure enough, this was a story that came out on the 2nd, just a few days ago, that Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson was getting remarried. This isn't the definition of PR that you crazy Meghan and Harry haters like to throw out. This is the definition of that. This is PR at its most top-notch gear. It is kind of dampening the blow of this Jeffrey Epstein, or at least if that's what they think it's doing, but it's not, because people have questions. For instance, in this picture, I'm sure this wasn't a mistake. This is Prince Andrew, Kate Middleton, and Prince William. This was taken in the Christmas of 2022 when they went to Sandringham, I believe. But the point is, they were seen photographed together, and it was a sign of support. And what I always go back to is that, mean to tell me that this man is allegedly a known pedophile, has gotten way more support in these last 8 years from this royal family, and Meghan and Harry couldn't get an ounce of support when they were threatened by neo-Nazis and was suffering from racial abuse from the UK press. You mean to tell me that this pedophile had more support from the family than your first biracial princess and your prince that is the king's son? Please explain it to me. And what's so sad about this whole PR move is that using Sarah Ferguson after they hated this woman for decades and criticized her to the T, is that they're using her, I don't want to say desperation to be back into the fold, but they're using her at a vulnerable time when she has just gotten over or she's in remission of breast cancer, and they're using her for their own image. I want to show you guys this clip, and I always go back to this clip and I always reference this clip because it's a very disturbing clip, because it shows how, I will say, some royal commentators, royal fans feel about Prince Andrew compared to Meghan and Harry.
Do you think that Prince Andrew's done damage to the royal family?
I don't think so.
It's my favourite royal, so my husband just laughed and she said, you know how to pick them.
Thoughts about Prince Andrew coming to the coronation? Do you think that he should come?
Prince Andrew is his brother. He's never been found guilty in a court of law.
They're families, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in every family around the world, there's no real normal, and I think they're going to have to navigate it, aren't they?
What about Prince Harry?
No comment.
I don't believe after everything Harry's done, he has a place here.
If that isn't very telling how Meghan and Harry has been treated over the past 8 years compared to this creepo, I don't know what to tell you. Because it also tells and shows how a society, how we still look at sexual abuse and sexual assault. And because Meghan and Harry spoke truth to power and told their side of a story that has been written for them years before they even said anything about what happened to them, they are crucified while this man can still reap the benefits of what a royal does and what he's been trying to do for years at this point. It's time this year that we start asking royal questions. Not us, Meghan and Harry supporters, but the ones who are just in between, in the middle, don't really know what's going on, but they're really interested and they don't know the full truth. This is the full truth. The truth is, Meghan and Harry has been a very convenient scapegoat for all of the royals' true issues. And the royal family has been assisted by a very corrupt, very fame-hungry, very money-hungry media that would do anything to protect their access and their scoops.